And our questioners tonight are David Martin Davies from Texas Public Radio and Sally Bolster from the League of Women Voters of San Antonio. And our first question for the District 9 candidates comes from David Martin Davies.
Hello, candidates. Thanks for coming this evening. What should we do with the Alamo Dome?
Alyssa Chan answers first, please.
Well, I think we should continue to maintain it, but in the same time, try to see whether we can find the funding to make it more effective. It is a facility that taxpayers have built, and I think it's very important that we keep it well utilized.
Weston Martinez, your answer, please.
You know, the Alamo Dome has been a key component to the economic success of San Antonio. We have to make sure that we protect our investment and the investment of the taxpayers, because if we don't protect the investment of our taxpayers, then we are not being good stewards as public officials. And my goal is to make sure that all tax revenues are spent wisely and that we prioritize our spending, and focusing our economic development and using the Alamo Dome as a tool is a key component to my campaign.
William Davidson, your answer, please.
This is a very good question. It was originally built, obviously, to attract a major sports facility or sports team, and that just hasn't happened yet. But I haven't given up on that. I hope that we can still do that sometime in the future. And I hope that we can continue to use the Alamo Dome to attract businesses and other sporting events.
Okay, now we get a question from Sally Bolster.
There has been discussion about the deterioration of cultural sites around Alamo Plaza. Would you support an initiative to make this area of greater historical value to our citizens and to our visitors?
Weston Martinez, you answer first.
The plaza is very important to the city of San Antonio, and I think that visitors that come to San Antonio want to see the type of culture that we have here in San Antonio. So we need to make sure that as citizens and as elected officials, we absolutely protect the culture and the heritage that we have in San Antonio. It's what makes us unique in all parts of the country. People that come to San Antonio and visit San Antonio move to San Antonio, and that, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, will increase our economic development and continue to spur our positive growth.
William Davidson?
Well, I've seen programs on TV about the missions falling apart, leaning over in various programs to try to rebuild them, and I certainly would support that type of initiative. We need to keep our culture here in San Antonio, and we need to preserve those buildings that do so.
Alyssa Chan?
I'll be in favor to continue to preserve our history, and also to, this is something that we have done very well, the historical preservation, and I think we need to continue to do that. We need to, however, be more careful on the planning side, but also how we make our dollars best investment as far as preserving and keeping it in shape.
And now a question from David Martin Davies.
Wasn't that long ago we had a scandal at City Hall about the firing of the city auditor, and do you think that we need to reform how we select the city auditor and how much authority that person would have?
William Davidson, you answer first.
Well, I was just wondering why this group is getting the hardest of the questions, but we are. I would support a reform process. I can't tell you right now exactly what that should be, but I think that we do need to look at a reform process, because we don't need that type of scandal to continue, and certainly with more transparentability, we hopefully won't go in that direction again.
Alyssa Chan, your response?
Yes, absolutely. I think that's a very, very important part of our city government. I think we should have a better, well-defined job description. I think this position should be a professionally with a professional experience, and I think it needs to be look into not just the financial part, but also perhaps explore the performance.
And Weston Martinez?
You know, I've had 14 plus years of corporate business experience. My wife is a CPA, and I understand what an auditor's position is supposed to do. I think we need to put some more teeth behind that office so that we can hold elected officials accountable, and we can be more focused on where people's money is going. I want to make sure that our tax dollars are going exactly where they're supposed to go, and make sure that we've got every possible tooth of accountability in every ordinance that we can have. And you mentioned scandal, and it's very important that we make sure that we've got individuals that don't put the city auditor in a conflict of interest position. And I think it's very important that as citizens and as elected officials, we all strive to maintain the public trust here in the city of San Antonio.
Our final question for the District 9 candidate comes from Sally Bolster.
Do you believe that the city of San Antonio and Bexar County should work to merge more functions, and do you have any thoughts on which ones?
Elisa Chan, you answer first.
I think we should work towards more collaboration. I am not sure if consolidation, a total consolidation will be the approach, but I certainly believe that we should work especially in the areas of economic development. I think we need to streamline that process. And there are other areas that I think we should explore the opportunity to work closer so we can bring more efficiency, so we can stretch our dollars and to make sure that our taxpayers' dollars are well spent.
Weston Martinez, your answer, please.
You know, my corporate experience has shown me that you can successfully acquire, and we've probably got more acquisitions than anybody in the city of San Antonio at AT&T, and it's important to do those things appropriately because it'll create positive synergies in both organizations. We've got to take a conservative, pragmatic approach that will benefit the city's services while decreasing the tax burden on those people that are putting us in office and, quite frankly, whose money we're there to steward over. So we need to make sure that we effectively look at every possible option at merging county and city services, but making sure that the people don't get left without anything they're supposed to be receiving.
William Davidson, your answer, please.
San Antonio is very unique in that the county and the city have very overlapping functions. It's not like back east where you have the county way out there and the city here. They're very much one over another. And so I would support many consolidations, even within school boards. I believe we have too many school boards. I know that is not a direct city council issue, but I do support consolidation of all the programs that we can, and where we can't, then I would support working together as best we can.
Well, thank you, candidates.